Hey, what's up? It's your girl Samzy News back for another recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This time we are on episode 12. It is Sutton's garden party. I'm going to get straight to it. I'm like 2 episodes behind as far as recaps go, and I promised I was going to be on top of this. I seriously do not understand how people who do this all the time do this all the time. But here I am in my office, not much in my background, not much in my face, but this is me. We're going to get to it. Okay, so first scene, we are back at Sutton's garden party, and we have Lisa Rinna confronting Sutton about her remarks to Diana, calling Diana an MFer and soulless. And, Rinna really was like taken up for Diana because she's like, not in my watch. She's not going to say that. And so Sutton is like, well, we resolved it. We resolved the issue. We had a really good conversation, Diana and I. And Rinna's like, I don't think that was actually Diana's takeaway. And Sutton begins to explain that she was actually trying to relate to Diana when they were talking, explaining that she had also had the miscarriages. And then Kyle interjects her, and she's like, Kyle's interjecting and is like, well, it actually wasn't like you were interjecting, you were fighting with her. And then Garcelle is like, hold on, like, why are you jumping ship, Kyle? Kyle's like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. And then they show a flashback of Kyle interjecting and defending Diana. And Garcelle's whole thing was like, look, we were all sitting there like laughing and hanging out and kiki and all this. And then here comes Diana, and boom, you instantly turn on me and Sutton, because they do the flashback of Diana actually popping off on Garcelle and telling Garcelle, you want to take a swing at me? Go ahead. Kyle's like, I have no idea where this is coming from. I make my own decisions. And I think Garcelle does have a point, but I think we'll see more of that later. So they decide to go inside because it's cold outside. The conversation really doesn't go much of anywhere. Brenna actually doesn't go that hard on Sutton. It was just kind of a couple statements, makes it clear it's not all good with you and Diana. We get back into the house, and Sutton is on the couch reviewing guys on the app. And I kind of like her and Erica's interaction. I'm not going to lie. They're like seriously laughing. They're swiping left, swiping right. And then one of the guys that Sutton is actually interested in calls, and he's kind of cute. He's like, he appears to be Asian, like Indian doctor or something. I don't know if he's a doctor, actually. Sorry, I just said that. But whatever he is, he was cute. And his name was Sanjit, I think. And it was like a really cute little interaction. And then, of course, there's still the elephant in the room that we have not addressed, the comments that Erica made to Garcelle's kids. So Garcelle's like, okay, can I have a conversation, one-on-one, but basically in front of everyone because all the ladies are there? Erica's like, yeah. So Garcelle just gets straight to it. She's like, look, it is never okay to talk to any kid like that, and especially not my kid like that. It was wrong. You can't talk to my kids like that, basically. And Erica immediately agreed, took 100% responsibility. She said, look, I was absolutely wrong for what I said. I was, playing around with the kids. I was talking to them like they were adults. I was talking ish. It wasn't right, and I apologize. And it was a very direct apology. There was no mixing words. There was no, it was just straight up, you're right, I was wrong, I disrespected your kids, and I am sorry. And then Garcelle takes it a step further. She's like, I appreciate that, but like, do you think it's like the mixing with the meds? And then here goes Kyle. And she's like, well, hold on, I've known Erica for 7 years, and in the 7 years, I think she's allowed to have a little slip up. Garcelle's like, hold on. First of all, I'm not talking to you. Secondly, I'm not even telling Erica anything bad. I am confronting her about this mixing and the medications that we are seeing, this looser Erica, as you like to call it. I don't know why loose Erica can curse out kids. That's cute to Kyle. And then Kyle, is like, whoa. And then Cherie's like, look, being the beautiful voice of reason, she goes, what she needs from you right now, Kyle, is for you to be neutral. Zip it, okay? And I also want to add, Erica's had multiple meltdowns. I mean, she's not like the meltdown queen. She's definitely the ice queen, okay? But she went off on Eileen about her son. There were some earlier seasons where she and Dorit did not get along and they spat with each other. Obviously, last year at Suttons, at the dinner at Kathy's, when she cursed, shut up, to Sutton. And then, of course, the telling Garcelle's kids to F off and trying to F her son. So it hasn't just been 2 times, okay? I mean, it hasn't. She's gotten into it with Teddy. Like, she's had little spats. Like, she's not just, like, even kill all the time, you know? Come on. So Cherie, like, says, listen, let's just listen. Garcelle accepts the apology. Erica also goes on to compliment her kids, tells her, you know, that she didn't have typical teenagers who just sit in a corner, that they basically came to this party, they engaged, they spoke with adults. Everyone was really impressed with them, and Garcelle has great kids, okay? Boom. Moving forward, it is Christmas time in Beverly Hills, and Garcelle, and we get another great scene with Garcelle where she's taking her boys to Cookies and Kicks, LA store where they have all these awesome shoes from Yeezys to Jordans, and it's basically, if you're into sneakers, like, this is a dream place to go. And Garcelle's there with her sons and their friend, and she's like letting them know, hey, you can get a pair of shoes. And she just kind of starts talking about how, you know, when she was divorced, when her and Mike, her ex, got divorced, she was in her 40s. She had 2 babies. She wasn't doing too good financially. You know, she's been working for 20 something plus years, but it's up and down. And then we all know how Hollywood is, and especially women of color, and, you know, it's whoever the hottest, newest, youngest woman is, or, you know, a woman Garcelle's age, those roles probably go to like Angela Bassett or, you know, Viola Davis. Like, there's people already in that niche, you know. And so here's Garcelle Bouvet, who's beautiful, but, you know, hasn't had that career, but has definitely been working. I've known her since she was on Models Inc. back in the 90s, and obviously Jamie Foxx show and other things, but of course, she's been around for a long time if you're familiar with some of the older movies. But, you know, it was nice actually to see her kind of talking to her kids and explaining, like, listen, you know, no, but before, when my kids wanted these expensive gifts, I couldn't do it. They do a flashback of one of her kids asking for a Gucci. It's only fitting that one of her kids would be super into fashion. I mean, she is a model, and I'm sure, you know, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. So she gets a $500 sneaker for her son, and I thought it was really sweet. Then we go over, and it is, again, it's the holidays. It is Hanukkah at Kyle's, and Dorit and her kids join along with Maurizio and his family. There was kind of a funny scene where Maurizio's dad walks in and he kisses Kyle directly in the mouth, and I thought it was hilarious. And I honestly don't recall ever seeing Maurizio's dad. Definitely have seen his mom multiple times, but I actually really enjoyed this scene a lot. Dorit came because PK is back in London. We know the last time he was there, she was robbed. She doesn't feel safe. Dorit and Kyle live near each other. Dorit is also Jewish, so she came. And Dorit's kids, they just looked so cute. And honestly, like, little Jaggy, he was lighting the candles and, you know, sharing why they celebrate Hanukkah. And I'm not sure how old he is. I think he's maybe like 5 or something. But I thought it was so touching. You know, there are adults who celebrate holidays that don't know why. I've literally asked people, well, why do you do Lent? Why are you celebrating this? And they don't know. I don't know. I just grew up doing it. And the fact that he really knows why they're celebrating this holiday, what it means to them and their people. And I just thought it was really a testament to the type of mom Dorit is, and PK, father, and that they're teaching their children values and faith. And I just thought it was really neat to see. And they, Jackie, I think, led them in the prayer, and it was really neat. I was very impressed. Beautiful scene. And then we go over back to Diana's. And, you know, Diana doesn't get really a lot of scenes by herself, but it was her and her son and her fiance. Diana loves a full house. She starts talking about her family in Sarajevo, I think is how you say it, where she grew up, and that her kids grew up with her parents. Her parents taught them language. We saw a clip of her daughter. We saw her son's girlfriend. I think she is Black or mixed or something, so I thought that was cool. Then we're back to Kyle, Garcelle, and Cherie. Honestly, I'm sorry, I don't have much to say about Diana. The thing is with Diana, I feel like she has interesting things about her, but it's like she's very off-putting to me. You know, I wish they would delve more into like the fact that she's in almost 50 and she's having a baby. Like, I think that's amazing. She carried the baby herself. Like, there's things, her, of course, her background and all that is very interesting, but it's like she shares, and then there's, I don't know, there's just a cloud of mystery or something. Something is just not right there for me. So we get to Garcelle, Cherie, and Kyle. They're having lunch. They get there. Kyle's the first one there. Garcelle gets immediately to it and is like, look, the dinner went, the makeup or apology with Erica went great, but her having fun and her drinking is becoming a lot. Kyle pushes back. She's like, well, what do you mean? Like, she's just, letting loose and this and that. And Garcelle's like, don't you think that her mixing of the pills and mixing her meds can lead to an alcoholism? Kyle's face, I felt like I saw it like all over her face, that she was just like, is this bitch for real? Listen, Kyle, obviously they have the history with Kim and her alcoholism, and how her family handled that was very hush-hush and protect Kim at all costs. And Kyle exposed that season 1, which was a huge problem for the family, that she would bring something up like that, because Big Kathy raised them to be very private about those things. And so Kyle, she knows alcoholism and addiction through way of her sister, okay? And Garcelle also knows it by way of her son. Her son has dealt with that. So, Garcelle acknowledged that, listen, I know that she's not anywhere near where Oliver was with his problems, but I think it's something that we need to address. Kyle was just like, look, I think you're being a little dramatic, but, okay. And Cherie, again, that scene was the voice of reason. I really like Cherie. She's just the voice of reason so far. She really hasn't said much one way or the other, but I think she's kind of filling things out and just being friendly. We go back to Diana's, clearing out her closet. Vivian Westwood. Oh, where did I wear this? Oh, Oscars. Oh, yes. She's cleaning it out with an assistant or somebody's there. I don't even know who it is. And she's donating it to and a charity, and talking about, that she's like, obviously you can't wear these things again. Or some of them she hasn't even had a chance to wear. And she's just going to donate these designs, and they're going to go to a charity. And she doesn't even know sometimes what the charity is, but she was in need and was a person who received charity in a time in her life. And so she gives back. Okay. So Erica comes over. She's looking through the clothes. Diana's like, oh, pre-baby wardrobe. I don't know if she gave Erica these clothes or if she let her take a couple pieces or what. Erica, also says, listen, I've had a lot of beautiful things, but right now in my life, I don't have these things right now. So they start discussing Sutton. Diana again expresses her dislike. Erica, I thought she wasn't really being messy, but she was saying, look, I had a lot of conflict with last year. Garcelle and Sutton were one of my biggest critics, but Sutton came at me extremely hard, harder than Garcelle, and I snapped on her. And she's like, I'm trying to get to a decent place where we can be civil. Diana's like, well, how do you feel? How do you forgive? She's like, I don't. So I don't know. But they do a flashback where they show at Sutton's house where Erica and Sutton are actually talking. And Erica's telling her, like, listen, you might need to try again with Diana, because it's just not working out. These girls are just, there's a scene in that where the talking head where Erica's like, I don't think Sutton will survive this fight with Diana. They're just so scared of Diana. Oh, Diana is just so big and bad. Like, okay, whatever. So they go to lunch, Diana and Sutton, and immediately they order some food. They get into it. Short story long, because honestly, the whole thing was like, I kind of zoned out. I'm not gonna lie, when they started talking. It was just a lot of like, I think you're inappropriate. I think you were mocking me. Diana feels like she's not sincere. She's fake. You think that's fake? Then you don't know what, I question your sanity if you don't understand that I was being fake with you. Diana, rolls her eyes. She doesn't feel like that it was genuine, anything that Diana said. She doesn't think she was sincere. And they basically start to like outstare each other towards the end. And there was like this part where she's like, are you serious? And she's like, are you serious? And she's like, are you crazy? Oh, you're delusional. It's like this weird back and forth. And then Diana's like, you know, you cut me deep, like you abused me at Garcelle's party. And it ends with Sutton saying, listen, I am a loyal person to the end. And Diana's like, if you say so. Sutton's like, oh, I know so. Diana, if you say so. Garcelle, I can't get her name, Sutton. That I know. If you say so, that I know. It's like back and forth. It was bizarre. At the end of that, I think we go back over actually to Kyle's house. Gosh, I think I lost the rest of my notes, so I'm going to have to swing it. They go back over to Kyle's where oh no, that was the scene before actually. Kyle's getting the house ready for the snow summit. She's getting snow in because Jamie Lee Curtis is coming over for a luncheon that Kyle's gonna put on. So I missed that. But that was pretty much the episode, unless I'm missing something, you guys. I don't know. But that was pretty much it. Pretty slow episode. Not much. I think the episode after this, episode 13, we got the mid-season trailer. Once again, wasn't much Renna. We didn't get much Renna in this episode. I'm sorry. Didn't miss her. Did not miss her. And her trying to check Sutton in the beginning was like, girl, shut up. Like, you are so inappropriate and do way worse all the time. So, decent episode. I think we're going to get into the second half of the season where we're going to see a lot of drama. I am going to try to put up another video tomorrow for episode 13. And then tomorrow's episode, I will try to do on Thursday and get that out on Friday. I'm probably going to have to set an alarm so I can do it because, I think if I did this more, I can have, a couple more subscribers. Right now I have 13 and I love it. And I would like to get to 20. I think that'd be like a nice little 25. 25 would be like a nice little size classroom, okay? Like the audience talking to. So if you like this video, subscribe, comment. I actually really just love comments. Send it to a friend. Say, hey, my friend does some little videos talking about the shows. So appreciate the time. Look for my videos tomorrow and Friday.